Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S back with another video. This is a bit of a fun one because it's Friday. So I've been thinking about this for a while, but I was thinking to either do it on a Monday or a Friday. But as the title suggests, for those who follow football, AC Milan is basically a team in Italy, obviously in Milan, and obviously in Italy. And I haven't really planned this out, but hopefully it'll make some sense. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, so they're called AC Milan, and I think AC Milan stands for Association Calcio. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. As I said before, like I support Italy because I think I look Italian, and I've supported them since like '95 or '96, and I love all the Italian teams. So my idea here, I thought for a bit of fun and using my imagination, I thought I'd talk about and do something different to my usual list videos and that sort of thing. But imagining Apple, which I think is the biggest company in the world. Please let me know in the comments if I'm correct or not, if you know any information. But I think it's the first or one of only $2 trillion companies or something. I think ExxonMobil is probably another one. But yeah, I mean, I know they're probably not always the most ethical. If I'm honest, I probably shouldn't have insulted them. But as my dreams are, as a part of my dreams to help Italian football to like return to the top of like in the 90s or whatever, when I'll say as a fan, were some of the top teams. I'd love to see companies like Apple invest in Italian football. And I thought, what if they invested in in AC Milan and called it Apple Calcio Milan? I wonder what Milan fans would think. Like some of the hardcore fans might. I wouldn't want to offend anyone, but some of the hardcore fans might think like it's changing some of their culture and history. I wonder what fans would think. I'm sure a lot of would probably love all the money coming in, and you could say it's still the same it's still the same club, or it still would be the same club. But like as part of the deal, maybe Apple could get to have their own stores, Apple stores, in or as close to the stadium as possible, like as much space as they can get. They probably want to get their stores in there and like sell their stuff. And obviously Milan is one of the top places like for fashion, one of the top sort of cities in the world. Like I think there's Paris, Milan, London, and New York. I think they're the top four. What people talk about, what people talk about when it comes to speaking proper English. But no, I'm seriously like what people talk about when it comes to fashion and things like that. So I think obviously that would be something. And as an Italian football fan, I'm obviously going to choose. I'm obviously going to want them to invest more in Italian football. So I think it would be because of my alliterations as well. Like Apple, AC Milan starts with an apple, so it sort of fits in. I think Apple Calcio Man. So I thought I'd talk about some of my imaginations about as I say, excuse me, Apple will also be the biggest company in the world potentially investing in AC Milan. Like I thought I'd share that idea, and who knows, maybe it'll happen in the future. Like people say, this guy's visionary, but hopefully I could somehow convince them to do so. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting that if Apple, although I don't know how they'd find this video, but if Apple somehow, or someone who worked for Apple suggested the idea or something, but if Apple, or show them this video, if Apple, you heard it here first, if Apple invested in AC Milan, as I say, and called it, maybe change the name to like Apple Calcio Milan, so it'd still be like AC Milan, but Apple, and like it will be Apple's way to get into football and invest in football like other big companies do. But I'm not sure if Apple would do it because obviously I imagine they're not hugely into football, or as Americans would call it, obviously soccer. But I thought I'd just talk about the idea and the imagination, like how as an Italian football fan and someone who loves all Italian teams, it would really excite me to see, like, and then maybe other companies would want to get into Italian football to compete. And I think like it'd be interesting if like ExxonMobil, which I think is the second biggest company in the world, if I'm not mistaken, like should be probably a bit careful what I'd say, but as someone who's anti-war and all that, I think it would be a bit difficult because I'm sure they make a lot of their money from war. Maybe even other companies like Apple or other companies like Microsoft benefit a lot from war as well. So it would be a bit of a dilemma. So, but I think it'd be interesting if they invested in Inter Milan, which are obviously the rivals, and sort of had a little competition. So they have a competition. I'm not saying Apple and ExxonMobil do have competition already, but maybe they could have like a little competition with each other on the field, like, so that as well as reigning supreme, like as companies, they would perhaps want to show how much they can invest in football or something like that, maybe as part of their marketing. Obviously, they'd want to make, I would imagine they'd want to make more money than they invest, but perhaps it could still be a bit of pride. Like I have heard of companies getting involved in sports as well, like the America's Cup or something like that. So, although I don't know a huge amount about that because football is my main sort of passion and really the only sport I really follow or play, pretty much. Like near where I live, there's on a side note, near where I live, there's like a park with a tennis court, but I never really use it. Football's really the only sport I really play. Sorry if I'm waffling or going off topic, but yeah. So I thought it'd be interesting to see Apple possibly buy AC Milan, maybe ExxonMobil could buy like the rivals Inter Milan, and like have a little competition with each other, like who can invest the most, and like hopefully they'd invest a lot of money in the youth and the infrastructure, football stadiums, pitches, giving people footballs and all that. But obviously benefit by having extra shops in Milan, and maybe that could even encourage more tourists to go to Milan because of the fact that they'd have shops, and I'd hope they'd invest some of the profits as much as possible, maybe at least 10% of the profits into as I say, youth development and supporting players in Milan. As a biggest fan of Italian football, I think that'd be great. And I just thought, as I say, I'd share that imagination of mine. And I'd say another thought I thought of was, imagine if Apple and ExxonMobil and companies like that all invested in Italian football generally, possibly in the league generally, like, or if there was some way to give Italian football clubs more money, I'd love to be able to do that somehow. Like, partly like either bring in more sponsors, richer owners, wealthier owners, or things like that, or excuse me, or if there was some other way, like as well as all the charity work I'd love to do and try to do, I would also love to do lots for fundraising for Italian football if I could, and again, like encourage wealthy owners to come in. And as I mentioned before, like maybe this is a naive idea, but maybe the more I mention like Italian football, maybe the more the brand value can perhaps go up. I'm not sure, but again, maybe I'm being naive in that. But as I say, I think it'd be great if like Apple and ExxonMobil and companies like that invested a lot of money into Italian football. Maybe even like Apple and ExxonMobil and other big companies could all have like a share in one club like AC Milan, and just like help them to have loads of money to buy players, but also to invest in the youth and infrastructure. So as I said, I think I just thought I'd share that imagination. Hopefully I didn't sound too mad, but sorry if I was waffling a bit or I didn't plan it as well as I'd like, but I just thought, as it's Friday, for a bit of fun and like a flexible Friday, I just thought I'd do something a bit random. And instead of my usual list videos, I thought I'd do something a bit different, as I say. And I'd love to hear what you think, if like, especially if you're a fan of football, and in particular, like if you're a fan of Milan, AC Milan, or Italian football generally, or whatever. What do you think about that? Like, if they change the name to like Apple, Calcio, Milan, or whatever, or should they keep the name the same, or what would you think about if there were Apple company, like Apple shops in or as close as possible to the stadium, possibly quite a few of them, but also they invested in youth infrastructure and facilities and helped Milan to return to some of their glory days, because unfortunately, like, they've slipped from some of the glory days where Milan used to win so much, including in Europe and even internationally, like with the World Club Cup, to slipping down the pecking order. And but yeah, as ever, I'd love to hear from anyone, especially I can't imagine people who are not football fans making too many comments, but anyone's welcome to comment, or hopefully, as I've said before, like I'll find a way to get people who are not even into football to get into football. And I can't think of anything else to say, but I might make part 2 or make another video like this, or maybe a few if I get a chance. And I'm going to stop laughing and I'm out. Peace and love.